back around the time the podcast first started, 2019, 2020, there wasn't a ton of viewership. So when somebody reached out to tell me that they appreciate the podcast and engage in conversation around it, I really appreciated it, right? So it was this one guy who, I would post a podcast clip and he would DM me about the content, about, what we were talking about in XYZ. So when I went on his page, the guy was like visibly gay. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's the proper term, but he was obviously gay, right?
Yeah.
And, at first I'm just like, this nigga kind of DM me every day, every time I post content, I don't know. But a part of me was like, bro, if this was a guy who didn't look gay, then I wouldn't have a problem with it. I would just appreciate the support. So let me be mature. You know what I'm saying? This is my first time doing like a public venture type of thing. Like, let me be mature. Like, and just
wait. What year was this?
This was 2019.
You said let me be mature. That's what's up.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I would just engage in a conversation with him every day. I post a clip. He'll DM me every day. I engage in a conversation with him. One day he randomly was like, "Hey, bro, I gotta ask you a question, bro." And he kind of gave it kind of sounded like it was some cautious shit coming down the pipeline. Pause. And I'm like, what's up, man? He like, hey, bro, I know you straight and all of that, but I was just wondering, could you send me a video of you fucking a girl? I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? So I go off on the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm like, in the midst of him asking all this shit, he get the like, oh yeah, I'm from Chicago too. I went to the same elementary school as you. I probably left for you got that, all this other shit. And I'm just giving a nigga the benefit of the doubt, trying not to be homophobic.
Exactly.
And the nigga like really like violate the whole situation.
Yes.
And it was just like in my mind, I'm just like, that's why niggas be trying to keep a lot of gay guys just gay guys in general at a distance. You feel me? However, on the flip side of that, that's no different than if a white person get robbed by a black guy and say, I'm gonna stay away from all black people. You know what I'm saying? So how fair is it really? So today we gonna talk about, as community leaders, as comprehensive men, how important is it that we prioritize disrupting the homophobia in our culture and in our community?
If you lazy, you waking up at fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon and shit like that,
Popping bottles,
you're setting the tone for everybody because you're the leader.
popping pills,
That's just what comes with being a man.
popping bitch ass niggas.
I don't want nobody making decisions over my life except me. Not a woman, not a judge, not an officer, not no motherfucking body.
When them bullets hit him up, look like son had a seizure. Run up, give it up, you know the procedure. I be sipping Jack and honey.
I don't think nothing can make me feel like a man. I don't think nothing can make me not feel like a man.
Chains on my collar.
You can't take the benefits of being a man without the responsibilities.
Give you niggas halos, all got it in the cake.
It'll be one of them ones.
It is, man. Welcome back to Roses I Did. I'm still Terry Rose, and I hope we're here next week.
Fact. I'm still Jones. Come back. Hey, come back.
Yeah. What's going on, man? How's your week?
Man, it's been a good week, but this is probably, I'm not gonna say this is the hardest I've worked. This is the hardest I've worked in a short amount of time. Like, it was a really big task. For y'all don't know, like what episode dropped last week? It was like you did like a monologue, right?
Nah, last week I dropped the episode with Professor Odie that came out on Patreon. I just put it out to the public.
Yeah, so y'all know I was gone because I've been preparing for. I'm in the last steps. You know what I'm saying? The sales engineer interview process, and what that looks like. So them tech jobs, it's usually about 3 to 4 rounds. You know what I'm saying? It's usually about 3 to 4 rounds. And for the role that I'm going for, you have to do, in the last round, you have to do a panel presentation in front of the hiring managers. You know what I'm saying? And for me, mine was, I think 2 or 3 days ago. And it was 5 of them. And they give you a case study. And mine, long story short, the example was, it was a company and they were worried about, you know what I'm saying, they missed their numbers last quarter. They was trying to get to 15% growth as far as revenue in the upcoming year. And they also wanted their sales reps to be more productive. Their sales reps was just, they wasn't using the best of their time. They was focused on little menial tasks. And so my job was to do a presentation on how the company that I was applying for, software, can solve that problem. And the case study was just super long. It was like 5 different roles. I had to talk to the CEO, the SVP, all of this. I just had, and they had, each one of them had like 5 listed concerns. So throughout the presentation, you have to like address their concerns, but like in a smooth way though, because it's a conversation. It's a presentation, but you want to make sure where you at in the presentation, it makes sense to ask the SVP this type of question, etc. So long story short, she, not the recruiter, the hiring manager, she took me from round 1 to 4. Like it wasn't, I didn't have to go 2, 3 or whatever. She like, you know what I'm saying, our first like interview, she liked it so much. She like, you know what? I want you to do the presentation. I'm like, okay, bet. She's like, but it's next week. I'm like, oh, okay.
Pressure.
Yeah. And I didn't get the material until like 2 days later. So I look, he had like 5 days to prepare. But I did that shit, knocked it out. And shit, I should know tomorrow.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man.
Congrats. It's gonna go the fuck up.
Early congrats. Congrats in advance.
Man, we gonna see, man. But also, look, we know I'm Reverend Jones, Pastor Jones. He said what? Nah, but I also said this to God, right? I'm like, either way, whatever happens, I'm cool with whatever you decide. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I definitely want this position. I want it bad. You know what I'm saying? I want all of that. But like how faith work, you got to be okay if things don't go your way too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, I'm definitely optimistic, all that side, but I did have to consider the flip side of the coin. And, but I've been doing that the last 4-5 years. Shit ain't been going my way. And it's like, all right, cool, whatever. What's next? Like, let's not what's next, but keep going. You know what I'm saying? So even if it don't go the way I want to, you know what I'm saying? I'll probably cry for like 3 days, but then I'm back on my shit. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna cry for 3 days?
Nah, I ain't gonna cry for 3 days. Right,
a day.
First day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna drop some tears for sure.
I cry over a few 100,000 too. Shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Opportunities knocked though, man.
Yeah, definitely.
It's crazy though. As we speak, I just got the invitation to speak at a graduation.
Let's go
in June.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome just kicked in because I don't know what the fuck to say at a graduation.
Nigga, you got hella shit to say. What, 8th grade?
Yeah.
Man, you got them little niggas.
Hey, little niggas. We not your little niggas. They gonna be
not your
like
little niggas.
Nah, that's what's up, man.
How was your week though?
It was a blur. I don't got no highlights or lowlights for real. The week was just a fucking blur. It just went by super fast. Oh, I'm about to start it. So that's a big
What
thing.
you mean? Like teaching? Some shit?
Fuck no. I'm never teaching again. Like ever. Unless they like triple the fucking salary, I'm never teaching again. This is a therapist. The resident therapist for the boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. It's gonna be super cool, man. It's gonna
So
be
you
super
like
cool.
the resident therapist. Why is it called resident?
Because I'm there.
Okay.
I'm stationed there.
Are you gonna stay? Okay.
Yeah. So they could add more. So I'm there for whatever group of kids they start with. But if it's somebody transfer in or a kid just get to wild the fuck out, it just he'd be added to my caseload type shit.
So you're gonna be the therapist as the kids who need it.
For the boys who need it.
For the boys who need it.
Yeah.
How'd you do that? How'd that come about?
I got my ways, man.
You know what I'm saying?
They like me out here, man.
Yeah.
My life is in alignment. That's how it came about.
Yeah.
When I first started teaching, I wanted to teach at
Okay.
but the fucking gym teacher would never retire. That nigga was teaching gym when I was there. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, he just would never fucking leave. Like, so it didn't happen or whatever. And because when I first started teaching, I was teaching gym at first. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't happen. By the time I wouldn't even keep up what was going on. I just moved on with my career. But now I end up, getting an opportunity from a Grow Community.
Mm-hmm.
And they just mess with my work. They had me doing the juvenile probation thing for a while. And I told them I wanted to switch over to schools. I told them I want to be back in the school system and things like that. And I talked to them about that. They was like, it's cool because that's your background. So we could maybe work a deal between you and the school or whatever the case may be. And they said called them for services like the next day. And the guy who's over that department that I'm about to be working with, he didn't know I went to. It just so happened the call, he wasn't available, so the call went through a different guy who know me, and he was like, "Wait, Terry Terry went there. Like, we gonna put Terry in there?" And that shit just all worked out, bro. They was looking for them. They was looking for somebody. I was looking for them, and that shit just all worked out, bro. So yeah.
You know why that happened?
What?
Jesus.
Yeah, I was expecting you to say that.
Bro went to church. And you're like, God, you know what? Let's bless him.
We're just a step closer to getting Derrick Rose on the show. That's all.
That's crazy.
The lady was saying that he's putting some mental health people and mentors and shit in a school of his own, and she wanted me to like kind of work closely with that group as well. So that's
literally in the same. That's down the road for you.
Yeah.
That's
for us, nigga. We trying to get this nigga on this show.
I know. But no, you're gonna be the reason though.
We figure it out, man.
That's dope. That's dope. Congrats. For
sure, man. What happened in the news? A lot happened in the fucking news.
A lot.
Trump is wilding. He got all type of shit going on.
Fuck. Like, I don't remember. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I just don't remember a lot of news about Biden, making executive orders and changing shit like back to back, like when he first got in there. I just don't remember him it being like a quote unquote uproar or even news of him making a lot of changes.
And I don't know if it's because he didn't or if Trump is just more publicized. Mm-hmm. Trump is doing a lot of crazy shit. Yeah. One thing that I kind of like, I don't appreciate this about Donald Trump, but I appreciate about how it's happening is that we know everything that's happening. Mm-hmm. Typically, even when a politician gets on the news and say what's happening, you will watch it and still not know what the fuck is really happening. Yeah. And I know I'm not the only one who feel that way. Like, everybody be trying to make it seem like they know what's going on in politics. You got that shit off Twitter. You didn't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the way that Trump is just, the way he talk is kind of like, I know exactly what he's doing. Whether, and it's like, even though a lot of it is fucked up, at least we can adapt and figure it out because we know versus like, a lot of I just always be feeling like politicians be talking. I don't know what the fuck is actually happening. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Until you find out the hard way, or until you know what I'm saying. It's like, oh, why is this going like this? Why is that going like this? Oh, that nigga signed the order. Yeah. I'm still finding out shit that Obama did 10 years ago that I didn't know he did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it seems like with this nigga, he telling you like in kind of very plain words. But a lot of this shit is fucked up.
Like people be saying the good thing about this is that he can't be president no more. But just think about like that's a good thing. But is he gonna fuck up so much that by the end of his term, it's gonna be like it's gonna be a new bad normal?
I don't know. Yeah. So like some of the things that he's doing, like the deportation thing, right? Mm-hmm. I've always been like a big proponent of like the Venezuelans. I was never fucking with it. Yeah. And I stand on that. And there's nothing against them as people. It's just more so like us bringing them. It's one thing if you could hop the border and make it in this bitch, more power to you. I'm not tripping on you at all.
If like, you swam over here, you deserve to be here.
Cool. It's another thing for us to bring in bus loads of people and have no plan for them and have them sleeping outside the police station and have them posted up in West Loop with no fucking resources, nowhere to live. And now we already a crime-ridden city. It's just like, what the fuck are y'all doing, G? Yeah. And then y'all telling the schools we don't got money for nurses, we don't got money for seekers to help special ed kids. But when they slide, it's a fucking $500 million budget. Man. And they coming up with money to protect them from Trump. Like, damn. Like, so it was just more not them as people, but more so the lengths that our government is going to. I had a problem with that. Mm-hmm. But they coming to get people who was already here, like who been here. Like that part is kind of crazy. And like, I can't really support that. And then I think it's a lot of people that are supporting it that I don't think they realize what that means for the economy. Mm-hmm. Like when it's time for you to rehab a house, nigga. Mm-hmm. First of all, if all of the illegal immigrants are gone, how long is it gonna? It's not quick to rehab a house now. You got to find a team. They got to be available, right? That team, 9 times out of 10 is gonna be full of illegal immigrants. So if they're all gone, even if you do find a team, they work gonna be so backed up because there's gonna be so many houses needs to be fixed and so few contractors.
And not only that, you're gonna pay that full rate.
It's probably gonna be double or triple because it's a monopoly
and it's
on
gonna
this
be
shit.
demand. It's gonna be so in demand, and like just imagine versus you got to pay a union electrician versus you know what I'm saying a nigga who just know how to do the job.
Exactly. This nigga charge you $250 an hour, and he got to wire your whole fucking building. Stop it, bro. So now because you paid so much more for the building, you have to sell the building for so much more. So if you're trying to buy a building that's rehab, that $400,000 building is now gonna be like $1.2 million, bro.
Oh.
And that's the numbers I got off Earn Your Leisure. Like I was listening to their shit and they actually like broke down what they would estimate people would be charging, how much it costs to get all licensed contractors for your plumbing, your electricity, your carpentry, everything, all licensed contractors. It's over with, bro. Housing market done. Y'all think it's hard to buy a house now? Nigga. What?
Rent too. Rent gonna be fucked up. It's gonna be a surplus of motherfuckers that's gonna be just needing to rent.
That too. And if I just paid $1.2 million for this building, rent to going up, I gotta pay this shit off. You know what I'm saying? So we're fucked. Like,
damn.
In that regard, we're gonna be fucked in that regard. So, but that's one of the things. He said something about he was trying to get rid of federal income tax. Not against that one. It was a few other things. Freezing the spending. Fortunately, it didn't stop. One thing we need to stop doing is stop spreading the information before we get all the facts. Because I kept seeing that post saying that like Medicaid is going to be gone, SNAP benefits is going to be gone, and that shit wasn't true. And it's like, you scaring the shit out of my auntie. Like, stop. Chill the fuck out, bro. Like, let's get the facts straight for my auntie have a fucking heart attack around this bitch.
Hey, the older people in our family watch the news for real and they believe headlines and shit.
Shit be crazy, man. We don't want to forget. The reason we bring up current news is to figure out how we should, how we could deal with these things as men, or how we would deal with these things as men. It's comprehensive men. That's my new word.
I peeped the emphasis on that at the beginning.
Yeah. I think with this presidential situation, I'm a big proponent of like we got to navigate reality and not debate reality. And what I mean by that, and I've said this before, is that debating reality looks like complaining that weed is illegal or like guns are illegal and getting locked up for the shit and trying to say, well, that shouldn't be that way. Like, but nigga, it is. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I hate
like,
that.
So how are we going to navigate? So instead of trying to debate the facts, how are we going to see that these are the facts and navigate around them? Even maybe while navigating, trying to change the facts. But we have to navigate what's actually happening. So when I talk to politics about a few people who I spoke to around the time Trump was making all these decisions, very emotional, very, panicking and just going in about the things that we can't control and can't change. It's just like, okay, how can we look at these things? That's my brain is automatically on like, okay, how do we need to pivot now that this is the case? Fuck all the other shit. I think like as men, that's what we need to be focused on. It's like if the economy crash, a recession comes, whoever got a lot of cash is gonna have a lot of fucking buying power and shit is gonna be super cheap. You're gonna have a lot of opportunity. Save your fucking money.
Yeah. Just
what I'm saying?
remain stoic. That's why I don't have a temper. That's why everything is just like whatever. Cause what can you do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just focusing on what I can do. The whole complaining. No.
We gotta pivot.
Let's get to the topic.
Let's get to the topic. We position ourselves as community leaders. We mentor kids. I see a lot of other community leaders out here, whether they doing violence prevention, whether they doing therapy, whether they doing helping kids get post-secondary options, teaching kids etiquette, whatever the case may be. If we position ourselves this way, then we have to service the whole community and not leave out a portion of it. And I think as men, we have to acknowledge the fact that there are gay boys that need mental health services. There are gay boys that need all of these different things. To be honest, a lot of male mentors don't want to deal with gay boys. Female mentors ain't dealing with boys either, so they slip through the cracks. And then a lot of them aren't getting what they need. So it's like, can you really call yourself this community leader or this, person that's for the people if you're leaving somebody out based on their sexual preference, especially when we're talking about kids? You know what I'm saying? When I was in school to be a teacher, a big thing that was a recurring thing in our classes was bias. Like, everybody has a bias. You need to figure out what your bias is, and you need to kill that shit right now. Like, they was talking about that shit in college a lot. So if you're a racist, we was in Southern Illinois, it's mostly white kids, and it was a white teacher. It's like, if you're racist, which y'all probably are, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to acknowledge that shit and kill it right now. If you sexist, if you're homophobic, whatever the case may be. And they was kicking niggas out the program if niggas was doing anything homophobic. It's like, you don't deserve to be a teacher. Like, they would like make you change your major. Shit was crazy. Let's do this. So when it comes to homophobia, just taking it back to like kind of where we stand in our experience with homophobia. And I want to make this clear too. This episode isn't to try to appease gay people. This episode isn't to try to pander to gay people. Any of that. It's just us challenging our own thoughts and trying to, you know, better our thinking in ways that could better the community. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So in this conversation, I want to talk about just like our experiences with how we were, like being born on the South Side of Chicago in the 90s, how homophobic that time was. Yeah. Right? Compared to like where we are today. I remember being a kid and it was to the point where if I went to knock on my homie door, hey bro, can you come outside? Nah, bro, I'm on punishment. Man, that shit gay. Yeah. That was how, like,
gay as hell.
Anything you didn't like was gay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and we've talked about homophobia a little bit on this show and our experiences with it, but what do you think that, like, as a culture, how far have we moved? Like, we say, like, oh, they're pushing the gay agenda, and that's true. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? It is a gay agenda and things like that, but when it comes to how homophobic times were in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s compared to where we are now, do you think that there's been a big shift? Do you think that things haven't changed that much?
I think it's been a big shift, and just over time, I would say it's become a more acceptable. Yeah. But so like when things become more acceptable, that's indirectly saying a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's acceptable, that doesn't mean you got to agree with it. That don't mean, you know what I'm saying, it's legitimized. It's just acceptable. So with it being acceptable, to your question, over the course of the years, it has been. So now that it's acceptable, how we grew up, like now it's shunned upon, like, you know, the type of things that we would say, like now it's wrong, right? Because it's more leaning on the acceptable side. Like this is okay. Because back then it wasn't okay to say, oh, that's gay. You're right. And ain't nobody finna, you know, get on that about you. If you see a gay person or whatever and you call that out, that's gay. I mean, it is what it is. It's gay. Right. Versus now, it's like, oh shit, like look, you just, you know, it just gets bad. Yeah, for sure. So the shift definitely is a big shift.
For sure. I think that there's a shift to an extent. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a shift from pure hatred to kind of like just omission. Like at first it was like pure hatred to the point where verbally attacking a gay person was acceptable, or maybe even physically attacking a gay person was acceptable.
I don't think that was ever acceptable, but yeah.
No, I mean like, nah, it kind of was, bro.
To physically attack a gay person?
Yeah, like when we was teenagers, if it was like a group of niggas jumping on a gay dude, it wasn't a question of why they was jumping on him.
Well, so I'm saying I just don't think that was ever valid. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, it wasn't. I'm not saying that it was like, it wouldn't be looked at back then like it would be looked at today. Like today it's like, y'all wild as hell. What the fuck is like what y'all like? Back then it was like, no, I don't know. It just was like that shit used to happen, bro. Like, I don't think niggas really gave a fuck.
Nah, but they ain't used to make us stop. Like they'd stop it, but it was like kind of like you shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Like
you scared to say it right now?
Yeah, you know you can't even say it, but you know you shouldn't be gay. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it kind of was back then. Like, but now it's like no.
Yeah, so I feel like back then it was like a pure hatred type of thing. Like right now it's just more of a like, all right, y'all good, just stay over there.
It's
type
a hate
shit.
crime.
You know what I'm saying? I think that niggas is more. I still think it's not necessarily a full on acceptance thing. And the thing is like, you don't have to hate somebody to oppress them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's where we are today, is that we feel like not hating gay people was good enough. You know what I'm saying? And the same, and what I mean by that, and I'm gonna make a lot of comparisons to racism and homophobia. They're not the same at all. And I'm not trying to say that they're the same, but there's a lot of overlap and oppression across the board, whether we talking about sexism, misogyny, whatever. Like, there's a lot of overlap and oppression, period. And a big part of the overlap is, you know, as a black person, a white person doesn't have to hate. Like, white people walk around and tell you, like, I ain't racist, I got black friends, da-da-da.
Yeah.
That don't mean shit. You get what I'm saying? Because you can not hate me, but you see the tattoos on my neck and on my hands and I'm black or whatever the case may be, and something happened and the police pull up looking for the fucking suspect, and niggas looking at him like, check that nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta hate me. You don't have to hate me to deny me an opportunity. You don't have to hate me to assume that I can't afford something in a store or whatever the case may be. Like, you don't have to hate me to oppress me. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
I think it's the same thing with when you talk about homophobia. Like, you don't have to hate gay people to deny them opportunities, or to feel like you don't want them around and it's a common space, or to feel like, you know, we talk about male mentorship. Like, I don't see a lot of male mentors dealing with, you know what I'm saying, gay kids. And the thing is, like, I've even talked to people who work in different industries about that. And the thought process in some of it is, you know, well, we don't think a gay mentor can, you know, we dealing with these hood kids and they in the streets and they doing this. Some of these hood niggas might be gay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And not to say that just because they gay, they need a gay mentor. But at the beginning of the episode, when I said, like, this person was visibly gay, everybody's not visibly gay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. I just think we in a space to where we think like, oh, because we don't hate this group of people, then that's good enough. We've done our job. And I don't think that that's the case. I think it's a dangerous way to look at things.
When you talk about denying opportunities, right? I just had a thought. Let's say your son,
For sure.
both your sons, whatever, and let's say they both are 4 and 5 years old, around that time, right? And their teacher is a gay male, like flamboyant gay. You know what I'm saying? It's very visible. Versus your sons now, let's say 13, 14, and they teacher's the same. Which one are you more comfortable with? Which one wouldn't care? Like, you know what I'm saying? If his 7th grade teacher is gay versus, you know, 4th or 5th grade.
Which one would I say I don't care at all?
Yeah, like you cool with him being a teacher?
I'm cool with him being a teacher either way.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there were any concern, it would be the younger.
The younger, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Just not want him to pick up some of the habits, some of the mannerisms and things
Bingo.
like that.
Exactly. And so that when you think about it like that, an opportunity for that teacher could be oppressed because, you know what I'm saying, the parents probably like, nah, you know, and he'd damn near get pushed out, you know what I'm saying, by the school or whatever. And when you think about like your personal stance, right? Your personal stance, I'm kind of comparing it to, because like you said, it's impressionable. Yeah. So that's why you got to. It's a thin line with accepting it, versus, because if you accept it, what are you saying?
If you accept what?
Like if you like, okay, let's say your kid, oh yeah, no, it's being gay is fine, it's cool. At that young age, they so impressionable. It's almost like a young man who around his mama 24/7, he's gonna start to pick up her habits, her mannerisms, and all of that. Fucking little baby son. Yeah. They joke about that shit all the time. Yeah. But he's so impressionable right now. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's picking up on. So when you that impressionable and you around a gay male, isn't it likely that you like your straight son is gonna, you know what I'm saying? It can be that he can influence him down that road.
Nah, I think that's right, bro. I think that's absolutely right. And then it kind of bring the question of, you know, how do I want to word this? This is a tricky episode.
I was like, we want to keep the show.
No, this is a tricky episode. It brings the question of like, okay, my son picking up on these mannerisms, right? I think we're all worried about that across the board as straight men.
Yeah.
For our sons, right? I think number one, we want our sons to be straight. You know what I'm saying? If they not, it's still fully accept. It's like, you know, I still love my son regardless. But number two, we don't want them to have feminine mannerisms. So that's 1,000% true. But at the same time, I have had my son has been in that situation.
Yeah.
I want to say last year he was in 3rd grade.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he was in that situation. The dude was cool. Like he was cool. My son didn't pick up on those traits or anything like that. I don't think that would like make a kid gay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think like your teacher being flamboyant is gonna make you like boys or anything like that. But I do think if it's time to have that conversation, I don't think it's anything wrong with having that conversation of like, hey, like, you know, that's cool. That's what he doing. Don't treat him no different. You know what I'm saying? Or even just if it's another kid in the class. Like if there's another boy in his class that's gay, it's that conversation of like, hey, that's the decision he made for his life. You know what I'm saying? And I always teach my son to stand up for other people. I always teach him like, cause he always come home talking about, you know, they do the bullying classes and shit at school. And I always tell him like, bro, if you see bullying and allow it, you're just as bad as the person that's bullying. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't saying you gotta jump in and whoop somebody's ass every time they fuck with somebody, but I'm saying that
you can at least speak up on it.
You should speak up. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, whatever the situation is, like, it's just like, hey, that's cool for their life. That's what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you shouldn't feel no way about it. That's their decision.
Do you also feel like, I think, how I want to word it. We're going to say that so many times.
Yeah.
How I want to word this. Do you feel like it's a problem now to say, yeah, no, I don't want my son to be gay. I don't want my son to be like, why is that a problem?
Because people, I don't know, like it's like everything is super liberal right now, and like everybody like, and this is the thing in America though, like it's hard to accept. This is a place where everybody beliefs is supposed to be valid, right? Like you could believe in any religion, you could have any sexual orientation, whatever the case may be. But in reality, it's hard to believe one thing without infringing on something else. You get what I'm saying? So there's no way I can say I believe a man and a woman supposed to be together, but also believe that it's okay for a man and a man to be together. It can't work both ways. If I strongly believe one, right? So there's nothing wrong with anybody believing that a man and a woman are supposed to be together. There's nothing wrong with teaching your kids that, but there is like this public outrage of like, oh, you shouldn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You shouldn't teach your kid that. But at the end of the day, it's like kids gonna make whatever choices they want to make in any field of life, whether it be sexual orientation, whether it be what they want to do with their life, their career, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, like you want what you want for your kid, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I seen it was in some comments. I forgot the context of what the post was. It was something about, you know, a kid growing up in a 2-parent household, and a woman commented and said something along the lines of, like, yeah, I want my I think all kids or something, you know, should grow up in a 2-parent household. And then in parentheses, she put man and woman.
Yeah.
Comments lit up.
Yeah.
It don't got to be a man and a woman. 2 men can raise a child. 2 women can raise. Like, how we going? Because the ultimate goal, you know, before we all was here, how it set out, it was to reproduce.
Yeah, for
you know what I'm saying? That was the purpose of like man and woman. You know what I'm saying? To reproduce, keep life going, and etc. It's rules and guidelines. Like if it was free for all, there is no structure. Like you just can't do what you want to do.
For
You
sure.
know what I'm saying? It's not going to be free reign, and it shouldn't be free reign to act on how you feel. It got to be some rules in place. It got to be some boundaries. It got to be like we got to keep this shit controlled in a sense. Not saying it's not going to be a fucking dictatorship, but damn, like it can't be the Wild Wild West.
I feel like this is how I feel, right? We did a show in 2019 when they had changed that law to put gay history in schools, LGBTQ history in schools. We did a show about it when I first started podcasting and shit, and we had 2 gay people on the show, a gay woman and a gay man on the show. And at the time, I had the strong belief that being gay was a choice. Like, I had the strong belief that, you know, you grow up, you might have some feminine tendencies that you picked up from your mom, and then socially, you kind of get pushed in that direction. Like, it was kids I grew up on my block who, when we was little, I remember when we all liked girls. Like, I remember we all liked the same girl, like on the block. She stayed right there, like, you know what I'm saying? And I remember, like, this particular kid having, like, just a bunch of feminine mannerisms. We didn't give a fuck when we was little. As we got older, other people started to tease him and shit like that. It was what it was. And I think the older we got towards middle school, he started hanging with the girl. Like, at first it was kind of like nobody was, you know, the boys is kind of like, all right, watch out with all that. And then the girls is like kind of not embracing that shit, especially in the 90s. Like, girls weren't really embracing that shit like that. And end up happening is we get to high school and there's a gay population now.
Yeah.
And that's where he fit in at. And I felt like, and then now he likes boys all of a sudden. He's dating boys. So in my brain, because of that one situation, I just felt like that was every gay person's life. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard other things about saying like, I've heard gay people say anybody who's gay, you know, something happened to them, they was touched or some shit like that. Okay, cool. Fast forward, 2019, we on this show, we having this conversation, and a gay guy was like, he was saying he was born gay. And, you know, I'm listening to him. I don't want to like debate his life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm listening to him and shit. And he like, man, like, he's like, nigga, I wish I wasn't gay. And I'm like, you know, what you mean? And he just like, shit, I motherfucker done that. Beat me to death, just walking down the street. Niggas done jumped on me down there, beat me up, put me in the hospital. My mama don't fuck with me. My mama kicked me out because I'm gay. He talking about all the struggles in life that he been through for being gay. He's like, bro, I don't want to be gay. This is just who I am. So when somebody is living that experience, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, we need some rules for this shit, bro. You can't just be like, you can't just be with no man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's really what, so this is the thing too, right? Go ahead.
I feel like that's a unique experience.
Right.
But I also feel like a lot of this shit can be influenced. And not saying, when you think about the gay teacher with the, you know what I'm saying, with the students, and no, he's not just finna be gay. Right. But that's, you know what I'm saying, that can be how it starts. That can be how the mannerism starts. And it just go from there. It's like it's a gradual process versus like, it's exactly like raising a man. You know what I'm saying? It's things that you get taught and groomed upon over time. And now it's like, yeah, I understand what a man is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so from the times, and this is probably toxic masculinity, but I remember I failed and hurt myself. My pod like, don't cry, toughen up, you know what I'm saying? And it's just little behaviors like that, but similar behaviors over time, and you grow up to be, you know, I don't know, I'm not trying to equate fucking falling on the ground to being a straight man, right? But you know what I'm saying?
Okay, what happens when you got the family of 3-4 brothers, and one of them is gay?
What are you saying? What was the influence?
Like, that's what I'm saying. They all raised in the same household.
No, and exactly. So I feel like that is the guest that was on your show.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you can't be born gay, but I feel like more so is more people that wasn't born gay that was probably influenced or pushed in that direction or touched or molested. Yeah. I feel like a lot of things contributed to somebody being gay versus you were born that way.
For sure. And I don't know. So I'm not trying to like even like, I mean, debate.
These are guesses. We don't fucking know this shit.
But what I think more so the point I'm trying to make is like, somebody came to be gay, it has to be room for them to live their life. Mm-hmm. It got to be space for them to be able to exist. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think this as well, because I mean, like, just getting back to the original topic of like the position that we sit in as community leaders, should we prioritize kind of disrupting homophobia in the culture, right? I think that like it's difficult because like we were born into just this homophobic era that we were born into in the early 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like, and shit was the way it was. I can't blame someone for still being that way if they haven't been exposed to anything different, even if they're a grown man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't blame a child for how they was raised, but of course, as adults, we have to take accountability. But if you haven't been exposed to nothing different, why would you be different?
Yeah.
When I went to Southern Illinois, I had taught at the sundown town at this school called this area called Anna, and it was just like a super racist area, and the kids were like gradually more racist as the grades increased. So like the kindergarten kids was just like, I was like a normal. I was like the principal put me to the side, like, you're gonna be one of the first black people these kids ever met, right? So I go into the school, and the kindergarten kids, it made no difference. I was like doing like this gym class. I had to be with the gym teacher all day. You know, the gym teachers teach the whole school. So I got to see everybody. It was a very crazy experience. So it started off with kindergarten, beginning of the day, 8th grade at the end of the day, and it just went gradually through the day. The kindergartners didn't really give a fuck. Like they was just like, who is this new guy? I want to play with him. Like it was just it. As you got to like 2nd or 3rd grade, you had the microaggression racism. Teach me how to play basketball. Teach me how to rap. Like, you're black. Show me some black people shit. They didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they looking at it like, okay, you the first black person I ever seen. You must be safe because you in my school. So you're not the criminal off TV. You're not Ghost.
Yeah.
So one of them asked me, did I play for the Bulls or the Lakers? I'm like, nigga, I'm 5'9". Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like what are you talking about? It's 8th graders in this bitch taller than me. Like, what are you talking about? But I'm dead ass though. I was walking through the hallway and the kid was like, do you play for the Bulls? You play for the Lakers? It's like a little 1st, 2nd grader, right? Mm-hmm. So you got the microaggression racism. It's happening. It's starting. By the time you get 6th, 7th, 8th grade, they like, nigga, don't talk to me. Like, don't even look our way. Like I can't blame them for that. Like you were born into this. You were taught this. I can't blame you for it until you get exposed to something different and you still choose to be that way. Yeah. Right? So the space that we sit in a culture today, I feel like some of that homophobia still exists in all of us. And the vast, and I'm including myself, right? I'm not somebody who hates gay people. I'm not somebody who wants gay people to not be around me. I'm not somebody who, whatever the case may be, but it's still like when you raising something, it's kind of like, it's hard to, and it's like we just started to kind of, become more aware of LGBTQ community and what's going on with them maybe 10 years ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
probably less than that.
I just feel like you don't gotta hate shit to judge it. And I feel like that's what it eventually like comes down to. Like, we don't hate homosexual people, but when we see them, we judge them subconsciously, consciously, however it goes. Like, as soon as you see him, so it's like you gonna judge the homosexual man that's teaching your son because you just gonna feel like he gonna be overly flamboyant and that shit gonna rub off. So it ain't that I hate the nigga. It's just I'm judging him. And
I don't want your beliefs to influence the program that I got going on in my house.
And that's even with racism though.
Like it's
I can't be mad at that. Absolutely.
Like, I feel
the same way.
So this is when I'm homophobic. I can't even say it. This is when I'm homophobic.
Right.
Hold on. That's probably gonna be a clip. How funny.
Yeah.
Nah, so and I don't want to start off smiling saying that shit. Right. Nah, so this is when I'm homophobic. I'm homophobic when it's affecting me. When it's like you projecting on me, you flirting with me. You. Other than that, I don't care what you got going on. I don't care how you live your life. But when you come in my personal space and you know what I'm saying, making whatever, you pushing that shit on me, now I have a problem with your gayness.
Right.
Other than that, outside of my bubble, outside what I got,
boundaries need to be respected.
My boundaries need to be respected.
And that's kind of what I mean. That's the dichotomy of this shit. That's crazy because that's kind of what I mean when I say, like, in America, you can't feel one way and accept something that's opposite of how you feel. Like, it don't, like, that's just not a reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you're just being fake. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not. I don't like it. I ain't comfortable with it. Like, it's been plenty times. Remember the shit I send you, a motherfucker say some shit, and it's like, nigga, I know you gay. I'm cool, whatever. But as soon as my boundary kind of, it's like, hold the fuck on. Yeah. Now I have a problem with who you are and what you stand for and all this type of shit.
Man, so it's like through podcasting, I've obviously like got to know a lot more people in Chicago, a lot more people just through conversation, meeting people, going to all these events and shit like that. People come to our events and things like that. So there's a lot of gay people I'm cool with that I just didn't know before this shit. Yeah. And that's absolutely fine with me. Like, it's just like, nigga, you want to slide to the event, pull up. Sure. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. And I think sometimes it does reach a comfort level that even when like the gay guys ain't trying to talk to me, some of the things that they're saying or doing is like bothering me because like that's just not a life that I live or necessarily even agree with. I ain't gonna say I disagree. I can't disagree with you being gay. You gay. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't shit I can do about it. But disagree not the word. Like, yeah, I'm like, you gay? No, I disagree,
Condone.
bro.
I don't fuck with
like,
that. You don't condone in that
like,
shit.
I disagree that you're gay. Like, nah, that's not a thing. But all jokes aside,
You don't condone it.
the nigga, I'm not even gonna say I don't condone it. It don't got shit to do with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't even say I don't condone it. But somebody was on the show. We had a guest on the show, and I posted a clip of the guest, and the guy DM'd me and said, "Why didn't you tell me my boo was on the show?"
Oh yeah.
What the fuck am I supposed to say to that? Like,
Yeah.
the nigga that was on the show isn't gay, or he's not, like, we don't know of him being gay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gay. Why the fuck are you even trying to have this conversation with me? It's stuff like that that's just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree that like it's hard to embrace something if you also have like a boundary around it in your personal, like, hey, that's not how I'm rocking.
Yeah.
So you cool, but it still has to be
It
a
gotta
certain
be.
level of respect.
It was a guy. I don't know if he was on the pod. I think he probably was. We probably talking about the same guy. He was not heavy set, but he was a bigger guy. Okay, if I show it to him, you know what I'm talking about. Like, he's obviously gay or whatever. He came into some events or whatever. I seen him and I was in Zara, and he was like, "Yo, what up, Reg?" Instantly, "What up, bro? How you feeling? Like, you good?" And that was that. Like, I don't mind interacting with gay people. I don't mind knowing gay people. Like, y'all could be in the same space as me, but it's just those boundaries is when, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get the push in the envelope. I remember it was this one guy, same instance with you, the small messaging, and I'm not trying to not engage in conversation.
I'm not going to try to ignore you because you're gay.
Right, exactly.
Now I'm trying not to be homophobic.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Even though in the back of my mind is like, damn, I don't really
you feel
wanna,
me? I don't like
open no gates.
I don't want to be homophobic, so I'm gonna engage in this conversation with you. It's just a normal conversation. What up, bro? Nigga asked for a tip about a workout or whatever the case may be. And I remember, I guess the dude had gotten comfortable with me responding to him, and he said, he was like, "Man, bro, we should go get some drinks or some shit. We should hit a bar or a lounge or whatever." And I'm like, first, we don't know each other,
right?
Why the fuck would I just go to a bar with you? And then I didn't respond. He responded back and said, "It's on me. I'm gonna pay." So what you trying to take me out now?
Yeah, he's gonna be on a date.
Like, what the fuck, bro?
Bro was saying he got invited. He was at the bar. No, he was at the gym working out. And he met somebody at the gym. And the nigga asked him, "Do you want to go get some coffee?" So after he ended up on a date with the
I remember that. But nah, it's instances like that where, you know what I'm saying, y'all, when I say y'all, I'm talking about like the gay community as far as men, you disrespect other people's boundaries, but y'all want us to respect y'all's. Yeah. I don't mind your lifestyle. I don't like that's what you got going on, but don't involve me in it at all. Don't involve the people. I don't even say the people. I'm just flat out say it. My son, like me and my son, like y'all stay over there in that sense because we have a boundary. Yeah. And when I'm teaching my son how I'm raising my son, that's what that's my business. Right, that's how I want him to be.
And if it was and I agree with you 1,000%, even with my son, but like if he did decide to go against that on his own one day, then that's just what he decided to do. But I'm not finna let you like.
I ain't gonna let you infiltrate that or influence that or manipulate that.
And that's the thing with like why I'm bringing this up to challenge it, because as I'm thinking about the topic before we start, I'm like, okay, I know I'm seeing a lot of shit that's wrong when it comes to our culture and homophobia, but then it's like it is some boundaries that I have to be like, well, what do you do about this? You know what I'm saying? So that's one of those things. That's one of those slippery slopes.
I don't like when they get defensive when it comes to me saying what I got going on with my kid. Yeah, like, yeah, my son, we not doing that. We don't believe in that. Whatever. Well, what he could be open to like. Yeah. Why are you trying to push that? Why are you trying to push that on us?
It's like, what the fuck, yeah.
Like, what? It's almost like somebody pushing a religion on you. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Yeah. I never push Jesus on you, but I'm gonna drop some seeds. You know,
Yeah. I feel like you be pushing Jesus on me, bro. I feel like you pushing Jesus.
This is a doggy joke, but no, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got no boundaries or whatever, but let's respect them.
Absolutely. So where do we find a balance at? Where do we find a balance between having the boundaries, but also not being homophobic in the culture to the point where homosexual people, gay people can exist peacefully? You know what I'm saying? Like, where do we find that balance? And I say that because I've found the compassion for the LGBT community from working with kids that's in that community. It's like, you're a fucking kid.
Yeah.
Like, you can't discriminate against a child. Like, and I'm talking about like little kids, like 4th, 5th, 6th grade. It's like, I'm working with you. I'm not finna, I'm not gonna work with you but it's like that grown man that you're discriminating against, that grown man you feel with, he was that kid before. You know what I'm saying? Now, so it's like, of course, we all want our boundaries respected, but at the same time, I'm gonna give you an example of how deep and subconscious I think the homophobia is in our community and how in our culture, and how I feel like it haven't changed much. It's just more covert, right? The prime example of how homophobic our culture is right now is Diddy.
Okay.
Diddy is in jail right now for multiple crimes that he may or may not have committed. One of the crimes we know he committed, we saw the video. So we saw him beat up Cassie on video, and we know that's what he's in jail for. All of the discourse around Diddy from men right now is about him being gay.
Yeah.
It's not about him beating up a girl. It's not about all the other fucked up shit he did or is accused of doing. It's no Diddy.
No Diddy.
You was at the Diddy party. Nice try, Diddy. All of that shit. So our only issue with him is not that he beat up a woman and drug her down the hall. It's that he's gay, right? The other thing is this. Do you see an outpour of men saying free Diddy?
No.
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 I see an outpour of men saying free Tory Lanez, who's arrested for shooting a woman. I see an outpour of men saying free R. Kelly, who's arrested for sleeping with underage girls. But we not saying free Diddy because subconsciously being gay is worse than sleeping with minors and is worse than shooting women. You get what I'm saying?
You just said something.
That's crazy, bro. Like,
You just said something.
That's crazy. That's super homophobic. Like, and this is but it's not being said out loud.
Yeah.
But if you pay attention to the patterns, it's like, what's really going on? Why do we want Tory Lanez? And then it's like, niggas is on Diddy ass for the one thing he did that wasn't a crime. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, in niggas' mind, is that a crime?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so I think that, like, as much as I'm trying to find a balance in that, I'm not absolving myself because I was raised in that culture. I'm a part of it. I'm trying to be more aware, but I'm still a part of the culture. Even when we say pause and shit, we say it like it's a joke, whatever. It ain't a big deal. But at the same time, what does it really mean? It means like I'm saying something, I'm saying a phrase, and I'm saying pause because I'm taking precaution, because even though I know I'm not gay, you know I'm not gay, I'm not accused of being gay, there's no rumors about me being gay, I need to take this extra precaution to make sure nobody thinks I'm gay, because it's that bad to be gay. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, that's how we feel about me. And it's just like, we could say, and on one hand, like, I'm not absolving myself because I'm probably gonna say pause for the end of this episode.
Right.
However, it's no different than how I got Black Women Are Essential tattooed on my arm, right? And we use the word bitch like it's nothing. And it's like, oh, even though I don't mean nothing by it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know how it makes women feel. So it's like, I need to chill. And it'd be no different. Again, going with the white example. If it's a white man calling you boy,
Yeah.
and like, I don't mean nothing by it. I don't give a fuck what you mean by the shit at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck what you mean by it. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like all of these little microaggressions.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, my goal in this conversation is to just think about it as just like, we all on this show, we're not here to give people life advice. We're not here to tell people how to live their lives. We more two guys that's walking the journey, walking the path in life. And this show is for people who's walking a similar path and want to walk that path with us. We're trying to get better. We're trying to correct our mistakes and things like that. So this is more of just observing our own behavior, challenging our own ways of thinking to become better and become more useful in the community and not leave people out. And it might not be an answer to these questions right now. We might not be there yet, but
You was about
them out there.
You asked a question before you just started. It was something along the lines of the web episode. You said, how do we I guess debunk or minimize homophobia?
Yeah.
Like,
Really, the question was how much should we prioritize it?
how much should we?
Because right now,
Mhm.
what I mean by that is we prioritize helping these kids in the community.
Oh,
We prioritize our finances. We prioritize relationships.
Okay.
How important should it be to us to prioritize that part? Because there's a population of people being left out of resources that they might need.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying is, like, when you look at shit on a large scale, there's a lot of programs right now for young boys in Chicago who need help
Yeah.
getting out of jail, beating gun cases, mentorship, guidance, substance abuse, all of these things, all of these programs for boys, violence prevention, therapy.
Yeah.
These niggas is not trying to work with gay kids. Like, they not, G. And the women organizations work with women. The men organizations work with men, but they ignore the gay boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
How I feel like, so how important is it, right?
Mhm.
I don't think it's that important for us to spearhead that help.
yeah,
We can be a part of it, just like we felt there was a need for a podcast, a community
Yeah.
to lead men down a better path, to correct our mistakes, to everything that we about. So we felt it was a need to go do that. That's what was important to us. Not saying that their community and the fact that they need help isn't important to us. I feel like how we could help that, somebody needs to, like, we felt strong about that. So we made a change and we started this whole thing. Somebody who feels just as strong and that's their priority, they can start that and start that help and get the ball rolling. And how we can support, I'll quote unquote come on your podcast. We could support in that way, but to make it a priority,
yeah,
seeing that we don't necessarily align with those aren't our values. That's not what we believe, but we still respect your decision in your life. It's just not a priority for me to, spearhead a movement to involve.
I'm not gonna disagree with you, but I'm gonna challenge your thinking, right? I'm gonna challenge what you said, and this is me playing devil's advocate. I guess I would say.
You're good at that. Go ahead.
What parts of your personality or what parts of your identity have to be different for you to be considered in a different community? Because they're all black, right? So when we say our community, you're talking about black people, but being gay puts you in a separate community.
No,
But I mean, you saying like somebody from their community could do that. We talking about black kids, but you saying
Okay.
like, oh, somebody from their community should worry about that. So it's like almost like
I ain't
they're
gonna
in
lie.
a different community.
That whole rant, I didn't have kids in my mind. I was thinking about the grown people. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I hear you, but even grown people, whatever it is, right? Because it's like, let's say somebody got a different religion. Is it like, that community? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of differences between people, but the sexual orientation difference, like, it puts people, and it in America right now, because it's LGBTQ, it is a different community, but it's like black people are already divided as fuck. I think it needs to be less walls between us. Pause. I think it needs to be less. I think it needs to be less division. Like between, I think the least division. We got religion dividing us. Now we got sexual preferences dividing us. You know what I'm saying? It's all these things. Right now, men and women are divided. You know what I'm saying? Right. Men and women are probably more divided now in our community more than ever. And it's tough. I mean, like, you do got I think a big part of what, repels straight people from gay people is the LGBTQ agenda, how much is being pushed and things like that. And it bothers me when I watch something and it's like, you turned Superman gay. Why does Superman have to be? Just throw a gay character in the movie. Like, I ain't even mad at gay people being in the movie. Just make a new character. Like, why does the nigga that I grew up on gotta just all of a sudden like a boy now? Like, Spider-Man like Gwen and Mary Jane. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no Ricky, wasn't in the shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's that. But on the flip side, this is just, again, me challenging my own thinking. Representation matters. There was a time where you could think to yourself, I want to be president, but I'm black, so I can't. Then Barack Obama came and it's like, oh, I want to be president. End of story. a gay kid is probably thinking, I want to be president, but I'm gay. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Representation matters. So it's hard to see yourself as something that you just never seen somebody else do. And with sexual preference being so big, such a big part of our identity, which I don't even think should even be that big of a part of our identity. Because I think honestly, I think with straight men, it's not even that a lot of us are just like purely homophobic against men sleeping with other men. I think it's more of the mannerisms that bother. Because if it's a nigga who just fuck with dudes and we know and he just act like a regular nigga, I don't think we give a fuck at all.
Like that, right.
Like, I don't think we give a fuck at all. Not even a little bit. Like, I don't care who you fucking, like who it is. But I think the thing that repel us a lot is the mannerisms, the saucy Santana
because it's
shit.
challenging our like, it's challenging what we see as men. It's like men don't do that.
It's,
you know what I'm saying?
It's that, and I think I don't like obnoxious people, period.
Yeah.
I don't even like when women act like that.
You don't act like what you act like that? That's the fucking
Like the whole like hand talking, I don't like none of that shit. And then it's like when I see a dude trying to imitate that, it's just like, yeah, cringy.
Yeah, it's just
You know what I'm
cringy.
saying? It's cringy for sure. I ain't fucking with that.
But how do we?
I think that's what I'm more phobic of is the trend. Like, yeah, I think the mannerisms is what I'm more like repelled by than anything. And you know, I remember when like people, you know, the phobias necessarily supposed to mean fear. You know, one people, oh, you homophobic? Like, I ain't scared of gay people. But I think the reality is like, it's not that niggas are scared of gay people. Niggas just scared of gay.
Scared of gay is hilarious.
Niggas just scared of, like, on some like, that's where the word pause come from. Like, niggas being scared of gay. Like, it's not the gay person. It's just the idea of like, nigga, like, nah, bro. Like, don't even.
Hey, yo.
But go ahead, what you was gonna say?
I was getting back to, I feel like we got a little bit lost when you was playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
And challenging, I'm gonna get back to that.
For sure.
Challenging, you know, just that perspective. What was you saying?
I mean, like just the verbiage of like, oh, like, you know, they community could deal with that. 'Cause I think what I'm trying to look at us as black people as one community. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand that like when the LGBT community takes that much of a political stance, you do separate yourself as a community at the same time.
Yeah, you like y'all built y'all own community. You fought to have your own community and your own laws and standards, and like that was a goal of yours, and now it's here. So now that it's here, take ownership of it in all aspects. You want help? You started the movement. It should be a section of y'all that's gonna provide them type of services. Just how us as black people, we did it, you know what I'm saying, in a lot of different ways, but just to keep it focused on their community. And when I say their community, I'm not necessarily just exclude y'all, like you ain't black no more, you're just gay. Like, not, you still black, but you put you put a barrier up to protect y'all community. Now it's like enclosed, and y'all like it like that. But wow, pause. But not enclosed, but I'm just saying, you fall for this. Now, if you want some resources, if you want, you know, it's sticky, man.
It is sticky. It is sticky, man.
Because it's
all a double-edged sword, bro.
It is.
It's all a double-edged sword.
And let's say y'all do.
Let me put it like this.
Go ahead.
Black people, we had the civil rights movement. So let's say like a white person say, hey, y'all fought for that. Build your own fucking pools. Like, ain't no pools in the hood. Figure it out. Y'all fought for civil rights. That's your black neighborhood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's why I keep saying is like, there's a lot of overlap and oppression because like, and that's the thing. A lot of oppressed people feel like they can't oppress somebody else.
But this is the thing. Okay, so to challenge that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, build your own pool, whatever. Like, no, I ain't saying that. So when I say like, you know what I'm saying, start that community of helping, you know, getting therapy to gay boys and all of that on your own, I'm not saying that we can't, y'all gotta chill.
I'm not inviting them back. They can't come back.
Nah, so start it, and I'm not saying it's all on you. we could come help. You can invite us to one of the meetings, and we'll advocate that, you know, yeah, we support y'all, and we can talk about the differences. We could talk about what we have a problem with. We could talk about, you know what
I don't think they want to hear that shit.
No, and the only thing that we have a problem with is y'all crossing personal boundaries. I'm cool.
You saying we could have some type of platform to where we figure out the differences and can move forward as a community. I think that might be necessary, to be honest.
Yeah, like if I don't even think they be knowing, or I ain't gonna say I don't know, but I'm gonna make a guess that sometimes they don't even be knowing what can be offensive to a straight man. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you knew these things, we could coexist and with no boundaries getting crossed. Versus you just thinking is this who you are, whatever, but you're not understanding that makes me uncomfortable when you doing too much at me.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah.
So if we talk about these things, we could coexist and yeah, we support what y'all got going on. Ooh, yeah, for sure. We want y'all to win or whatever. But it's a boundary.
Yeah. How does religion intersect with this?
Perfect. Yeah, good question. So like as a Christian, like Christians, you have this, what you call it? Give me a second. Christian has this stereotype. Is it? Okay, cool. Christians have this stereotype of, you know, being super judgmental, pushy, and all of that. And I feel like when you think about like the gay community, well, I'm a different kind of Christian. I don't care. I could go kick it with a Muslim. I don't care what you believe in or whatever. That don't have nothing to do with my beliefs. We could be cool. I'm not being cool with no atheists, but we could be cool and all of that.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, that's where I draw the line. You're wilding. But I feel just how I feel about my religion and other people's religions, I feel that way about my sexuality and other people's sexuality. Mm-hmm. Like,
what about a KKK member?
Fuck them.
They Christians.
No. Yeah, they reading the wrong Bible. But you know, yeah, the lines it's not being crossed.
Nah, I hear you. We got a few more things to talk about this, right?
Okay.
It's some other stories and things that happen that have like crossed certain lines that I want to discuss. I don't want to be like, I got some more gay stories to tell. Like, pause. It's hard to talk about this shit. Plus, I want to talk about church. I want to have a talk about church that we went to church. Okay. And I just got a few other questions that I want to ask you. And I got some more stories to tell about when them hoes try to set me up.
Sure. We in Patreon right now?
We can go to Patreon right now.
I bet.
You got AMP before we go to Patreon?
Oh, yeah. Proximity. And I had this
real proximity gave you. Where are we going with this? No,
God. But I had this epiphany earlier today of how important it is to take attendance and just be aware of the people that's in your immediate circle, the people that you interacting with and just, you know, you cool with and that you around on a day-to-day basis. For whatever reason, I just started to notice, like, y'all know I'm into fitness. I'm super big into fitness, right? And I'm noticing, like, over the years, people who are connected to me, even if they wasn't on like fitness, they own it now. You know what I'm saying? They see the growth or whatever the case may be. It's inspiring. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people that's close to me getting in shape. I'm talking about from cousins to like distant cousins. Motherfuckers hit me up. Like, they're being inspired to want to be a better version physically for themselves. Mm-hmm. And so you got to take account of the people that you around, because obviously I'm around these people, so I'm affecting them in a positive way. And you also got to take into account of who you are in other people's circles. Mm-hmm. What value are you bringing to whereas you inspiring people? That's why they say, like, you know what I'm saying, the average of the 5 friends, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be the sum of what you are. What if you an expert at something, the people around you gonna at least want to be good at it. You know what I'm saying? You could be the expert, but you're going to influence somebody else to be good at it, to at least start working towards it. So if you got the homie who super into fitness, you know what I'm saying? You can get inspired in that way. You got a homie that really know the stock market, that really know real estate. Nigga, I learned a lot about real estate last night just from the live or whatever. So think about what value that the people that you hanging with, what are they good at? What are they experts at? And how would that is inspiring you? And also think about, what are you doing to be value in your own circle? You know what I'm saying? So the key thing is being valuable and taking account of, you know, who's bringing value. in your life?
That's a good one, man. That was a good one. That was a clip. Yeah, because I definitely feel like I could definitely credit you to me working out outside of a boxing gym. This is my first time ever like consistently working out and it not being sport related at all. So I definitely could credit you with that for sure. And that's I think that's what happened when you're doing anything consistently. That's like not just like, you know, going to work, come home and shit like that, but like when you start whatever journey you start and people see it, whether it's you working out consistently, whether you buy a house, whether you know what I'm saying, because you making people see that things are possible and things like that. So inspiring people around you is a beautiful thing, man.
For sure.
I don't have advice for boy moms today because this topic I'm super fucking thrown off. But but I do want to say, man, as we close the show, it roses I did, you know, like I said earlier in the show, man, we are just two guys walking the path of improvement. I just made that up and that sounded great. We just two guys walking the path of improvement. We appreciate y'all walking this journey with us. So whatever you're chasing in life, whatever you're walking towards, you know, make sure you keep your foot on the gas and give it everything you got, man. Decide, plan, sacrifice.
Shoot or shoot.
We out. Patreon time. What we talking about first, man?
It's all God in the king.